up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm back here at the original parking lot location because guess what? We have one of those originals from Subaru. This is a 2021 Legacy XT. This particular one is a limited trim, but before we get into this mid-size turbocharged sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. Subaru has really been doing the business for so many years and built a reputation for itself for that all-wheel drive system, that symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Now, the great news for the Legacy, you're gonna get that symmetrical all-wheel drive, but you're also getting the return of the XT trim, which means we have turbocharged power. Now, the interesting thing is, many people who are Subaru fans, especially when they were in the World Rally Championship, always remember the great days of Petter Solberg and Richard Burns behind the wheels of their WRX STIs. Well, the WRX STI was based off of the Impreza chassis. A lot of people don't realize that before the Impreza came about, Subaru was running their Legacy chassis in the World Rally Championship with Colin McRae. Now, fast forward to the 21st century, like I said, building on that all-wheel drive reputation, but also bringing up the level of quality and materials to the interior, Subaru's trying to really combat the rest of the mid-size sedans in this segment. So let's go ahead and find out, is this the best mid-size sedan you should be buying, especially because of that standard all-wheel drive? Let's go ahead into our 2021 Legacy XT and find out. Right off the bat, the styling. Very, very synonymous with Subaru. When you start at the front end of the business, you're gonna get LED daytime running lamps, LED projector beam style headlights, and what's interesting is for 2021, one of the changes that they made is you're gonna get those adaptive headlights, which means that when you turn the steering wheel, the lights are also gonna move as well with the turning of the steering wheel. Working your way from that unique shape of the headlight housing down, the great news is no fake vent. You actually have a location for, yes, LED fog lamps. And on this limited trim, you're getting a little bit of chrome fascia just to kind of spruce things up in the lower corners, with the rest being flat black. Now, coming across the center grille, of course, you're gonna get that iconic badge, that Subaru logo. Really just separates the brand from the rest of the pack. You have a little bit of chrome, which matches well with what's going on in the corners, and then the flat black horizontal slots, fully functional up top. Working your way down, you got even more functionality in the lower grille area, flat black with some of that beautiful red metallic color on the lower lip. Now, when you get up onto the hood, you're gonna notice that there's a rise that goes all the way towards the windshield. Other than that, very clean styling. Coming around the bend, when we're comparing this to the other mid-size sedans in the segment, what are we getting on the limited trim? So you're gonna get this 18-inch wheel, which really lines it up nicely with the rest of the competition. Machined aluminum, that metallic dark gray finish. When it comes to the design, I think they did a great job with adding the detail to take basically just a 5-spoke wheel and really bring some of that extra goodness. You do have fully ventilated rotors. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this tire? 225 on the width and a nice meaty 50 series sidewall. No flat black whatsoever around the fender treatment, and no fake vents or anything stuck on. Now, coming down the side, I do like the way they took the bright, shiny metalwork, and it's very interesting how they brought it out onto the mirror. You're gonna have, of course, your color match covers, turn signals, and then you do get a standard size sunroof on the limited trim, color match door handles, and down below you'll notice a nice sill that kind of drops down, really gives the side of the vehicle a lot of styling difference when you're looking at previous generation Legacies. Working your way towards the rear, one area I wish they would have done something is kind of made this flat black area kind of take the quarter glass and bring it all the way to the rear pillar. So I am gonna have to zonk this flat black area, but I do like the way they flare out the trim. Like I said, all-wheel drive, getting us the power to the ground. And then when you get to the trunk, simple, clean styling. You're gonna get the unique style to those taillights, the Subaru badge, the symmetrical all-wheel drive, Legacy XT, and then working all the way down, I'm very happy to say you're gonna get functional exhaust outlets on both sides, just one. Nice little oval cut, really looks clean. with a clean lower bumper area. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Legacy XT. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. I am gonna have to zonk the prop rod. It would be nice to have the hydraulic hood struts, especially on a limited trim. But what are you gonna notice? Not a bunch of plastic covers. That's what I love about Subaru engines, that flat 4 layout. What you're gonna get is a intercooler up top because this is a turbocharged intercooled engine. So what are we looking at? It's a 2.4 liter flat 4 producing 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque with the aid of that turbocharger. It's got a CVT transmission, 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, top speed 140 miles an hour. It weighs in around 3,781 pounds, MPGs 24 in the city, 32 on the highway. And like I was saying, looking underneath the engine hood, you could see everything very clearly. You have your intake runners. I can see where the oil filter is. Nice to know the alternator, nice to know where all those little details are. And of course, that massive intercooler. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what the Legacy XT brings to the table. All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Legacy XT. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I kind of forgot about this midsize sedan. I've been looking at the Accord, the Mazda 6, the Camry, the Sonata, the K5. I need all-wheel drive. I live up north, and you know what? I've had Subarus in the past. How much is this one? So MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is around $35,000. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. Now, if you haven't been in a Subaru in a long time, things are gonna look way different. Look at that quality of that interior. Nice soft touch material. I'm digging the two-tone with the tan. A little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy, and some nice bright silver. On that armrest, super soft, and then working your way down to the door pocket, it's a little tight. So maybe I would say 1 churro from Costco and a bottle of water to wash it down. We do have the optional Harman Kardon sound system. And when we go from the door panel to the dash, same story. Upgraded material, soft touch, love this tan with the stitching. You do have a nice Snickers tray here. Put a couple King Snickers bars. Just a little bit of gloss black, but the stitching just brings everything alive. Look at the little tiny pocket that we have over here for some Slim Jims for those longer trips. And then new on this XT is this 11.6-inch infotainment system. Obviously vertical display, TomTom navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You do have actual functional screens at the top and at the bottom. All your AC controls are at the bottom. They do give you actual buttons for temperature because that's really important. You do have heated seats, no ventilated seats though. Would be nice to have the ventilated seats, but I'm telling you, very easy to navigate through. And then you throw it into reverse. There's your backup camera. Very, very clear resolution. I just wish it would use up more of this dead space. But putting it back in the park, no, I don't want to save anything. Go right back to map, and there we are. You got your start stop button conveniently placed. You do have a nice little cubby here where you can put your phone, 2 USBs, and an aux jack. This is going to control that CVT transmission. Love the soft touch material. 2 cup holders. Another nice feature is the key fob. It just looks good. It's got the Subaru badge on it. I like the silver. It's not too heavy. Super soft touch on the armrest. Pick it up. What do we have? You got enough room for easily $1 million. No, not in cash, in 100 gram bars and a 12-volt seats. Super soft material, perforated, nice stitching on the side. You do have an 8-way adjustable seat for the passenger. Me being the captain of this ship, I have a 10-way adjustable seat, standard size sunroof, and the tan does really brighten up things in here. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind this leather wrapped steering wheel in the Legacy XT. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of this Legacy. You do have 2 memory seat settings. Another thing I want to point out is new for 2021, you do have warning chimes for both the driver and the passenger when it comes to seatbelts, and there's that rear seat reminder in case you forget anybody in the back. But the seat controls, easy to get to. Speaking of back, you have that lower lumbar, which is really nice. I'm 6 feet tall. I have plenty of room sitting in here. And then it comes to safety. You got the best safety technology in the business, that eyesight system. Subaru developed it, and this is the version 2.0 where it's actually smaller up here instead of the bigger unit that used to be, but that's gonna help keep you safe. And what's gonna help you enjoy driving is the steering wheel. Nice, thick, leather wrapped. It's got all the controls, flat black on the buttons. You do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go through simulated gears because you do have a CVT, manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then the instrumentation is simple and well laid out. Analog tach, analog speedometer, coolant gauge and fuel gauge, and then you have that digital display in the center to give you all the important readouts. Like I was saying, comfort is definitely high level up front. Let's get to the back seats and see if your passengers are going to enjoy driving with you in this Legacy XT. All right, guys, backseat time, and I'm telling you right now, they did a bang-up job when it comes to space back here for this midsize sedan. Another thing that I think was really smart is how they went dark material on the back of the seats. It's going to be easy to keep clean. You do have large pockets, supersized. You could easily put an Abacus in there. You could put a Simon Says or Type and Speak, real simple. And then you're going to have your AC vents, heated seats, and they give you 2 USB. So you got connectivity and comfort all wrapped into one. I have my own pocket over here, and I'm telling you, these back seats are just as comfortable as the seats up front. Throw this down, nice high armrest with 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the trunk and see how much room we have in this Legacy. All right, guys, a lot of people are saying sedans are dead because there's no cargo space. Well, let me introduce you to the trunk of the Subaru Legacy. Real simple, you're just gonna hit the button, swings right up. Look at all this space, not only width, but height. I like the way the cargo floor is just a little bit lower, gives you a nice lip on the edge. When you're storing things, we're looking at over 15 cubic feet of space. The seats will do the 60-40 split tango, folding down, and the great news is the engineers put some handles here that you just pull on the lever, and that allows the seat to fold down. Is there a spare? Yes, underneath this foam piece, there is a spare tire, which is something that's also going the way of the dinosaur. Nice to see that Subaru decided to bring that. But why don't we go ahead, this has turbocharged power, this has all-wheel drive. Let's go on throttle in this 2021 Legacy XT. All right, guys, we're behind the wheel of the 2021 Subaru Legacy XT. Right away, you're gonna love how much room there is up front. And of course, your passengers are gonna love all that room in the back. Instrumentation, I know everybody wants these full digital displays, but it's easy to read, easy to understand. The backlit LED really shines very nicely, especially at night. And visibility out the front is great. Getting onto the highway, not an issue because you do have plenty of power. And it's incredible how smooth the drive really is. And the fact that you're getting really great MPGs, even though you have that symmetrical all-wheel drive, keeping you safe, keeping you planted. Now, getting to the infotainment system is well within reach. We got the navigation up, easy to get to the AC controls, and just, you know, the way they thought the layout through really shows that attention to detail. And then, like I was saying earlier, if you haven't been in a Subaru lately, the quality of materials are really a pleasant thing to experience now, especially with this two-tone. But while we're cruising here, let me go ahead and go on throttle and show you what passing acceleration is like. But here we go, on throttle. So you got those simulated gears that help keep the revs down so you don't get that major CVT drone. And I'm telling you, the 260 horsepower coming from that flat 4 turbocharged engine is more than plenty to get you up and going. And then, like I said, when weather conditions get rough, you're still gonna stay planted and secure with the all-wheel drive system. All right, guys, sometimes the crazy stuff in Florida is it rains on one side of the street and not the other, and that's exactly what we have here. But I wanna do some acceleration from a dead stop on throttle. Look at that, all-wheel drive, keeping us planted, keeping us secure, really showcases what Subaru, like I said, has built a reputation on, is their all-wheel drive. But here we go, on throttle. Look at that. You're not doing that in your quarter Camry, that's for sure. Super smooth. So glad that the roads were a little wet there. And as you can see, typical summer in Florida, now it's bright and sunny again. It literally has rain. There's been rain at my parents' house and not at my own from time to time. And they live right down the street from me. But You do get the blind spot monitoring, nice large LED lights built into the mirror housings to really give you that heads up that, hey, somebody is there in your blind spot. And then of course you're gonna get all the other safety features, especially emergency brake assist and everything with this Legacy XT. But driving on the highway is very enjoyable. I do like the way it handles as well. It does communicate very well through the steering wheel. And the chassis, this global architecture that Subaru has been using for their different models, really has been engineered well to give you a great ride and great feedback. All right, guys, let's go ahead and see how the Legacy XT accelerates and handles a little bit more here. But if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes, definitely plenty of power for sure. I like the way it simulates downshifts. Very nice, look at that. So really a confident midsize sedan with lots of safety features, the all-wheel drive, which is the best, and the power from that 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. But we're gonna get back to where it started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. Been a fun day with this Subaru Legacy XT. I definitely gotta thank Jessica and everybody over at Subaru USA for allowing Raiti's Rides access to this press suite vehicle. It really goes to show that when looking for a mid-size sedan, you really could get a lot when it comes to interior, when it comes to power underneath the hood, and separating it from the rest of the pack, that all-wheel drive. But let me know what you think. Is the Legacy XT the mid-size sedan that you would go with, or would you go with one of the competitors? Put it in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the first link, become a Raiti's Rides Patreon member. Click the second link, get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. Lori's rocking it like a champ. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.